Hi, my name is Tim Rawlinson, and this is my show Sculpting Light here at London Glassblowing. I just wanted to take you through a few of the works in the show. Behind me is a new wall installation I've done with these individual pieces suspended on the wall with a metal bracket. And the initial inspiration is the idea of them as sort of planets, sort of floating sky. And you had, past couple of years, James Webb Telescope releasing new images of deep space. And when I was younger, the Hubble telescope images, things like pillars of creation, definitely had quite an effect on me artistically and made me sort of wonder of these far off worlds and space. So to have this brand new rich tapestry of images to sort of inspire a whole new generation, I've personally really reacted to. So that's been the inspiration for these pieces. And the fact you've got the colour suspended within this large amount of clear just makes them look like they're sort of floating in the world, and also means the colour then perfectly refracts to the edge of the clear, which is a really lovely optical part of these works. These are my new cast pieces. I've been looking at trying to create fluidity within the colour, like ink dropped into water and then how the colour spreads. So two different ways of tackling with it. This one is more of that colour moving through the water, and it really does look like it's in motion. I sort of think of it as like static movement, moment frozen in time. This highly polished form, simple platonic solids, but with this really chaotic colour movement within. And I say chaotic because I don't have control over how the actual final colour resolves itself. The casting process means that each one is completely individual. So I'm casting blown pieces, which means I'm able to create air pockets within the glass, which once it's put inside of a mould into a kiln, and then the casting process starts, where the glass becomes molten again at high temperature. The air pockets move and rise, which distorts the colour, and that's completely chaotic and out of my control, which I really like. This piece, Hydrozoa, makes me sort of think of like an underwater world. It's almost like tiny little jellyfishes floating about underwater. And the fact that you have the clear glass surrounding it, suspending it, I just think it gives it a platform to really look as if it's in motion. These new pieces, Vitrium, working with this same language I've been using for a while, these large cut and polished blown forms. But the colour, rather than being some of the pure colour that you see in these pieces, the echoes of light, more textured quality colour. Inspired by sort of effects in marbling and textiles, using sort of drops of oils and inks, and then using metal tools to move and distort the colour. When it's suspended within the clear glass form and then optically polished, you can get a lot of the qualities to do with stained glass windows. One particular favourite is the Marc Chagall windows in Reims Cathedral in France. I think that these works create a lot of that sort of wonder of the light passing through the glass, or what you achieve in stained glass. Part of the exhibition, working with a form which I call a spherical cube. So it's circular in essence, but it has 6 flat sides on it. We've got solid ones, we've got blown ones. Think of them as these sort of suspended universes, galaxies. Solid ones done with a colour suspended in the middle, and then clear all the way around. And the blown ones, I flipped it to have the colour on the outside, a clear bubble on the inside, and the colour then reflects inside it. And the inspiration for that sort of form was some of Escher's etchings, where he did these otherworld universes, and the idea of these 6 windows portrayed. So I'm sort of trying to create that in a 3-dimensional object. And the fact that you've got the transparency of the glass and the optical illusions that you can achieve means hopefully there's a lot of investigation and changing of viewpoint to see something new that will lure you to these pieces. This new work I've made specifically for the show. It's called True in Light, and it's inspired by a trip I took to St Ives in Cornwall and saw a Barbara Hepworth show, My Life and Art, and particularly the work she has in her sculpture garden. These tall forms with these negative spaces that run through the pieces, these apertures. I found really inspiring to create this new work with more angular organic forms than pure circles that I've been sort of working with before. And I think it's really interesting how things you see throughout your life travels, different things you're exposed to, I think sort of stay with you, very often come out artistically, might not often know where that inspiration came from. And when I was a child, I always used to go to visit that sculpture garden with my family, and going back there as an adult, I realized I think the effect that had had on me and the work that I've been making. So these new organic forms are a direct inspiration from that visit.